Russia's invasion of Ukraine was the most clear-cut modern example of imperial expansionism that any of us have probably seen in our lifetime. And if you blur the lines on what is a clear-cut battle of good and evil, I think you're making a fundamental mistake.
I think there's a degree of narcissism in the political discourse that approaches these issues when it's our enemies as a kind of big morality tower, in which the centre of the morality tower is not the actual victims, but ourselves as the good guys in world politics, and wherein other instances of aggression, of war crimes, etc., become invisible and incomprehensible because they don't fit that pattern. When they do stuff like this, it suddenly becomes a huge issue, in a way that's very convenient to a pre-existing worldview, where we can say, look at our enemies behaving as they do with pathological evil. It's now time for us, the good guys, to step in and do the right thing. In a way, it's quite narcissistic.
This looks like a job for Superman.
But this isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan, that has seen conflict raging for decades. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too, city where you wouldn't expect that or hope that it's going to happen.
What's compelling is just looking at them, the way they're dressed. These are prosperous, I'm loath to use the expression, these are prosperous middle-class people. These are not obviously refugees trying to get away from areas in the Middle East. They look like any European family that you would live next door to.
Now the unthinkable has happened to them. And this is not a developing third world nation. This is Europe.
The story about how quiet everyone has been about Yemen and how loud they have been about Ukraine, I think, is just an enormous, clear example of where power lies, and power is served by silencing the war on Yemen and highlighting the war in Ukraine.